Good morning to one and all. Myself, Sathya, MSc Nursing, ES College of Nursing, Visale. Today we will detailedly discuss about communications. Did you know about the communications? The communication is nothing but the wave of through information through the one person to the another person. Let's move on to the introduction of communications. The meaning of communication: a means of communication is a way to share some information between those people, one person to the another person. This is the important aspects of the human being for to get the information about regarding any of the colleges or anything, hospitals, or where you have to experience about the to working area in this place. Next, move on to the definition of communication. Communication is essentially the ability of one person to make contact with another and make himself or herself to understand about the what we say about the exact meaning about the communications. This is the information regarding the patient or either any through the person or anything you have to contact with the person. So communication is a process. Next, move on to the different ways of communications. First one is audio. Audio means in that you have to give the maximum audible to the voice to clear exact to communicate through the patient or the people. Next, move on to the visual. Visual means in the clarity is the exact what he have to do for the action between those papers. Example is any action, body languages or any video or audio you have to focus between the person. Next, move on to the written. Written means in that you have to give the message to the person, you have to written format give to write it and given to the clarity of the way of to give the communications. Next, you have to action about the communication. Action means you have to do that is without non communication through the person. You have to do the something, you have to action about the body languages. These are all the different ways of communication can utilize from the futures. Next, move to the functions of communication. In the functions, you have to motivation. First, you have to motivate the person to communicate it through the person. You have to himself go to herself. You have to do the communication through the person. Next, move on to the action. You got to action to give the to control our to give the exact what you have to tell about the her patients or either you have to another person to communicate it through the person. Next, move on to the information. You have to give the how to explain about the what you have to explain about the peoples. You have to get the knowledge or get the information regarding those person. You have to capture the words about the communication. Next, you have to any body languages or any crying or smiling or any facial activities to the person. You have to functions about the communication. So what we got to think about, you have to maintain the either body languages or motivation or information, either you have to function the body language. These are the functions of communications. Next, first you move on to the information. What the information? The individuals to work groups to need the information themselves to decision to their work. You got to somebody to give the information about those persons or patient. The emotional expression. Emotional means the social interaction, either smiling or laughing or any crying. Either activities for the emotional expressions is a communication provides way for the employees to express themselves. Next, motivation. Motivation is a communication's clarity for employees what is done, how well they have done it, what can be done to improve performance behaviors in organization. Motivation means you got to motivate themselves than the others. You got to give the communication through the positive. You got to give the approaches to the patient. Then control. Formal and informal communication is a control on individuals. You got to give the formal or informal. You got to give the action or written work. You got to give the communication between those person. The communication process. First you have to the message. A clear written spoken piece of information that you send or leave for a person when you cannot speak to him or her. This is a message can to written or any either through the to send the encoding. Encoding means there is a translation of messages into by a sender so that it can be the relayed through a medium. Okay, this is the encoding. Medium is translate the messages to receiver. Who the message means you have to write the message. Encoding means is the information regarding the messages. Medium is into the message into the center that it can be relayed through the medium to a receiver. Then receiver means is a got a messages. Then decoding means you got to receiver. Receiver means is exact received the person. You have to continuation the communication process. Message. Send so the to message means is a sender or receiver. Sender means those who overall write the content between the person. The receiver means is exactly receiving the messages. Then open the messages. What exactly you got written. Okay, then they gather the information regard through the other persons to share the information through the other persons. Next, talking. What regarding any clarity of the doubt, you have to get the information regarding any through the receiver. Next, you have to communicate through the peoples or anything through the share about the people or to the persons. Communication process. Communicator. A person with any idea, intention, information or a purpose for communicating. Communicator is nothing but is a sharing ideas or intentions through the how to share information regarding through the communication. Message. An idea to experience that a sender wants to communicate. You have to exert a clarity of the ideas. The encoding means converting a message into group, then symbols that represent ideas or concept. Next, move on to the medium of transmission. A carrier of the message. Who the carrier of the message is the medium of transmission. The decoding or receiver, technical term for the receivers throughout the process, is the received persons. Then after receiving that, get the some feedback about the person. The receivers respond to the sender's messages. Who sender means is the feedback, last comes to the feedback. Noise, factors that distort the intended messages. The effect. Next, move on to the effective of communications. Next, we got should be the communication should be clarity, adequacy and the timing and integrity. So clarity means you got to clear the content should be having. Adequacy means you have the adequate content is enough to written or any oral or anything spoken about the adequacy content you have to having. Time management, you have to keep the timing about the management of the communication. Integrity, the quality of being honest, having strong moral principle that you refuse to the change. This is a effective communication. Then move on to the types of communication. Channel, formal and informal communication. Then direction, downward, upward, then horizontal. Methods oral, written, then gestural. Just move on to the first. You have to clear chapters. We'll see about the channel. What the channels? Channels means is nothing but is a communication. Is a formal communications. Communication through the officially designed channels of messages found organized chats policy manuals. So through the officially designed channels. Then informal communication means interaction do not reflect to officially designated channels. There is no any communicated through the persons. There is relaxed, comfortable climate, this etc. This is a formal and informal communications. So direction communication. Direction upward. Upward means you have to high quality, then the clarity, then the material. Downward means is idea, then the sharing, then the give timing. Horizontal, you have to maintain the communication through the thought, ideas and time management. The direction of communication, upward communication, downward communication, and then horizontal communication. Upward means initiated by those the lower of the organization. The exactly position, time, then support current policy of the upward direction communication. You have to maintain the position of the communication, the standard position, then you have to maintain the time management, then support current policy, you have to maintain the communication. Then downward. Flow from upper management down to the employees at lower ranks. Job instruction, ideology, information, feedback. Job instruction means you got to give the instructions for the group. Then group you have to give the share few words about the members. You have to get the new ideas, then the informations and process of the job instruction. Then ideology, get the new idea and thought from the job. Then information, you have to sharing the information from the one person the other person. Then give the feedback. You got this is not good, this is not bad. Is give the you have to somehow you have to give the feedback about the communication. Next, horizontal communication. The flow information between colleagues to peers. Organization have enhanced its importance, not recognized as official. So you have to flow the information between the colleagues. Colleagues means is a people, group peoples, or friends, or neighbors, or students, or any patients, or anything family members, or give the you have to give the exact importance to the organization. You have to enhance to you have to give the informations. Then methods of communication. There is a two methods: verbal communication, non-verbal communication. Verbal communication means communicating with words, written or spoken. Verbal communication consists of speaking, listening, writing and reading. These are the verbal communication. You have to give the oral communications, written communications, or to spoken communication. You have to give the communication through the person or peoples. Non-verbal communication is nothing but is the action between those persons. You have to give the facial reactions or body languages or smiling or to give the body languages. The non-verbal communication includes all unwritten or unspoken messages, both intentional and unintentional. This a person can move to the any action, body languages. Either you have to group meeting means you have to raise the hands. Somebody cannot make the noise. You have to give the body languages, then eye to eye contact, then maintain the body posture, then gaiters. You have to all this comes under the non-verbal communication. Action. It's the action of communication. Without any speaking, you have to give the action of communication. Example: expression, then body movements, gestures, eye contact, voice, touch. Then body language include facial expressions, gestures, handshakes, nodding, eye contact, posture. Even without words, the messages can be strong. Gestures do not have the same meaning in all cultures. You got to maintain the body language. Is example smiling, leaning forward, hand gestures, firm handshake, yawning, open arms, touching face, pointing fingers. Anything you got to give the body language is the non-verbal communications. The barriers of communication. What the barriers of communication? Then first one is the language. Is a clear whatever is the language you got to give the clarity of the language. Without clarity of language cannot understand about those persons. Then physical location, where you got to exactly located for the, so you have to clear words you have to given for the exact location person. Poor equipment. What the poor equipment means, you have to not enough having for the media or audio or visual aids, you have to cannot you have to having for the any net connection about the poor equipment. Then noise is a disturbance for the communication through the raising the noises. Then culture, you have to follow any Hindu culture, Muslim or anything, you have to culture, you have to variable of the disturbing the communication. Then perception, the perception you have to disturb the communication through the barriers. Then various types of communication. First one is a language. Speaking in different languages where your language is not your first languages, either Tamil or English or Hindi, any Malayalam or any Telugu. You have to clear different languages. You have to content should be clarity manner. Then there is the physical location. When teams are spread across the world and diverse terms are created. The terms means exact physical locations. Spread the information. Poor equipment. Not having the right IT infrastructures, slow computers, poor quality, audio, teleconference systems making it difficult to hear what is being said. Is a not clarity of the voice is a poor equipment. Not audio means is a poor equipment. Not is a slow working computers is a poor equipment. Noise. When a person is communicating to another and someone to something makes noise, so you have to disturbance about the communications. Next is culture. The spelling the same languages but words having different meaning in different countries. The Tamil is English is a different but is the same meaning comes under the same spelling. Is a meaning of different. This is a culture format can be used for the languages. Perception. One message has two or more different meaning when spoken but into an email. You got a message to the two or more different meaning. Is a one message or different meaning is there. You have to identify the exact meaning what we say about the communication. Today we will discuss about the communication, what the introduction of communication, definition of communication, meaning of communication, next types of communication, then what the process of communications, barriers of communications, what the different methods of communications. Thank you.